let's do what we're meant to do and talk about the lawsuit. The lawsuit. So, as some of you guys know, this news has been bubbling, marinating on the fucking Fire and the Kid Reddit for a while. I feel like people have had an inkling about this happening, mostly because of Podcast Cringe's nice bit of catnip he left out, right, for us to kind of nibble on, I think, at the end of one of his videos, and everyone kind of got a bit curious. Some people kind of found out the general basis of it, but even I was shocked. A guy that refers to himself as the fucking, the expert of everything that pertains to fucking Bapperverse lore and shit. Even I was surprised at the levels of outright redactedness involved in this lawsuit and things adjacent to it. It just boggers the mind, boggers the fucking little marble in my head, that Brendan could be this fucking dumb. But it does make a lot of sense when you think about it, because it's fucking Brendan. So let's watch the fucking video. Big up Podcast Cringe for summarizing all of this shit. There's a full lawsuit somewhere that I'm probably going to read or maybe skim over. There's also some evidence that I haven't got a hold of yet, but hopefully I'll get a hold of it soon. But regardless, it's fucking fascinating. Podcast Cringe has done a great job of summarizing all for it. I'm sure some of you have seen it already. We're going to watch it again because I think this is a great little video to kind of summarize what's going on. Brendan Schaub sued for fraud in $1 million lawsuit. Let's hear what Baba's been doing in his free time, or in the beginning of his free time. Right at the beginning.
Walk me through this idea again.
Oh, dude, you're gonna love this. So, you know how the CBD industry is like the Wild West? You never know what you're gonna get.
Right.
I represent Pure Spectrum. You know exactly what you're gonna get. So I ride into this lawless, like old country town, right? I'm representing Pure Spectrum. I'm the sheriff. I'm on one of them big burly horses, right, like a brown horse, and and then all the townsmen, they circle around me. They just all gather
Why
around
do
me.
they circle around
because they.
You know what's funny? I wonder if he even paid Callum for this. This little Pure Spectrum promo bit thing that he did. I wonder if this fucking POS even paid Callum for this.
They represent the other CBD oil companies. They don't want me in there.
Okay, they're bad
I'm
guys.
real. They're bad guys. I'm good guy.
And they have guns?
I'm good guy. They have guns. And they take them out. And I hear one go, "Hey, sick cowboy, we don't want your kind around here." And I say, "Is that a matter of fact now?" And he goes, "Get on out of here." And I go,
Because they don't want Pure Spectrum in the market.
"Why would they? Why would they?"
All right, guys, before we get into today's serving of law,
I love how Brian had to remind him, like, to say the brand name. Pure Spectrum, right? yeah. Why would they? Brother. All that fucking blabbermouthing and whatever else. Anyway, whatever.
lawsuit lasagna, I've got to remind you, everything I'm about to talk about comes directly from the plaintiff's legal filings in this civil case. These are just allegations. None of this has been tested or proven in court yet, and Brendan Schaub is still fully entitled to defend himself. In fact, according to the latest court records, Brendan hasn't even been officially served with the lawsuit. So technically speaking, he hasn't had his chance to respond, deny the claims, or put forward his side of the story. There's a very real possibility Brendan's sitting in his storage unit studio right now, watching this video, finding out about these allegations for the very first time. So, let's be crystal clear. As of today, these are just claims.
The storage unit studio, I was actually listening to another podcast earlier today where they was basically saying that there has been like this weird trend now where people are calling their office their studio and their studio their office. Or no, not a lot of people are referring to their spare room as an office anymore. Everyone's just trying to record, refer to it as a studio. We need to go back to the days of calling things as they are. No, that's an office, that's a studio, So that's the funny thing. Whereas I'm sure this fucking storage unit that he's got is definitely a studio slash chop shop trash garage. It's like brother.
Made by the plaintiff, they still need to be tested in court, and Brendan Schaub has not been charged with any crimes in relation to this civil complaint. This is a civil business dispute, not a criminal prosecution. We're just unpacking what's in the public court documents. The legal system will handle the rest. Also, I will alternate between the words lawsuit and lolsuit, Texas and Texas throughout this video. No, it's not intentional. It's just the price you pay for watching hours and hours of Brendan Schaub content.
Exactly.
And then they're all around me and they're like, make your move, boy. And then I see one girl come out of the bar. She's like, don't hurt him. And she runs, don't hurt him. And I'm like, thanks, sweetie, but I'll take it from here. And they draw their guns. And I'm like, oh, we doing this? Not up in here, y'all. And then get you.
You know what's really funny about these bits? This is also around the same time, probably you can marry it up, link it up, when a lot of these guys were like bemoaning the state of Hollywood, bemoaning the fact that there were no more comedic movies and shit, and they need to bring those back, and political correctness has kind of destroyed the sense of humor and destroyed that kind of genre of comedy in the first place, and so whenever they did get the chance to kind of act or do some sort of improv, you felt as if they were trying to prove that, oh yeah, see, we're just as funny as these big actor guys. And whenever they did do it, they kind of fell flat on their faces, isn't it? You're reminded about just how untalented and, for lack of a better term, useless these guys are away from a show microphone. Like, completely useless. If they're not speaking to a home crowd, if they're not in their fancy podcast studios, if they have to do anything the slightest bit creative, right, within their kind of field, within their genre, within their kind of area of expertise, they fall flat on their faces. They have no idea how to do it. The number of good actors within that stand-up comedy crew, right, the 250 Navy SEALs, Marines, Joe Rogan crew, the amount of good actors in his crew must be single digits. Must be in the low single digits of people that can actually act, let alone comedic act. They're fucking useless outside of podcasts. It's just hilarious. They have so much to say about Hollywood and about Netflix and all this shit, but when they get given a chance, we see way more fucking machine stories than we see fucking Tom Segura shows.
And then they're just all laid out. And then they're like, dang, that was sick, man.
All right, guys, buckle in, because what I'm about to tell you is so peak Brendan Schaub, so classically bupper, that even Gringo Puppy is looking like the least embarrassing thing he's ever done. See, while most comedians move to Austin to chase stage time, network within Rogan's inner circle, or just sit in traffic near a Buc-ee's for 6 hours, your boy Brendan's been busy racking up lawsuits like he racks up missed punchlines. And this latest one isn't about the so-called Reddit trolls. It's not about podcast bots. It's not even about his failing podcasting empire. This time, Brendan Schaub is knee-deep in a civil lawsuit out of Palm Beach County, Florida, with allegations so ridiculous, so on brand, that even the Fighter and the Kids subreddit couldn't have dreamed this one up. We're talking tax fraud, wire fraud, civil theft, conspiracy, and brace yourself, you guys are gonna fucking love this one. Allegedly using a CBD company's private customer database to spam strangers with promos for his failing comedy special at the time. That's right.
You know what's funny about that claim, right? Or what he's been accused of? Even when it happened, because I was on the Reddit when it happened, people were like, this is weird. This is strange. This doesn't seem like it's legal. This seems very, very dodgy. Like, people were making fun of him because I think some people got sent the email blast, because some people, I guess, signed up to the Pure Spectrum email list. Some people were sent that spam. I remember thinking, like, what the fuck is this, right? People were laughing at, oh my god, man, this guy legitimately got these people to kind of send this blast out, or these people did it on his behalf to try and like protect him, or, you know, soothe his fucking whatever, soothe his ego, protect his fucking thin skin. But now looking back at it, many years now have gone by, you're like thinking to yourself, fucking hell, Brendan, like, what an absolute dumb fucking move. But even at the time, let it be known, even at the time, people were calling it out for it being fucking dodgy as well.
You buy CBD oil to help your anxiety, and next thing you know, Brendan Schaub's in your inbox begging you to watch Gringo Puppy. That's not just poor marketing, that's psychological warfare. But let me back it up for those of you new to this bupper saga, because to really appreciate how epically Brendan fumbled this one, we got to start from the beginning. Before the lawsuits, before the storage unit studio, and before the Botox.
The chain smells like Brendan. Smell it. Yeah.
It smells like your cologne, dude.
Yeah, I wear that every day,
yeah.
and I go to bed in that.
How
You
does
do?
gold hold
Yeah, I got
smells?
that for that thing's kind of a good luck charm.
What
When my
the
son
fuck
had
is
his
this?
seizures, I got that like the day when we figured out CBD oil gets rid of them, so I haven't
He
taken it
has
off since.
seizures?
He was, not anymore, thanks to CBD.
Hold on. Son gets seizures. Don't have son, but I can imagine seeing your son having a seizure, whatever it is, epileptic fit, whatever, right? Convulsing, shaking on the floor, eyes rolling back, foam, all that malarkey. Must be super scary, right? Is your first reaction when that's over with, or when you've got a treatment for it, is your first reaction to buy a gold chain with a medallion of their face in the middle, surrounded by diamonds? Is that your first reaction? Oh, my kid had seizures. Let me go get a gold chain to commemorate this seizure. Or these seizures. What? And CBD cured it. So did you buy the chain because CBD cured it? Or did you buy the chain from the profits of the CBD you sold because you lied to people and told them that CBD cured your son's epilepsy? And you know, parents out here, especially post-COVID or pre-COVID, were looking for any solution that doesn't involve vaccine, so they'll be more perceptible to kind of buying that sort of shit and believing that sort of nonsense. Like, can you imagine how this guy's brain works? Wow.
CBD oil.
What's
Really?
wrong? What was wrong with
Real
him?
story.
What was causing it?
They don't know. It's epileptic seizures, but benign though.
Epileptic. One more time.
They don't know. It's epileptic seizures,
Epileptic.
but benign though. And then
Benign note.
there's like all like doctors like, oh, let's put him on this medication. Let's do this. And then I went to these forums, and the moms.
In my opinion, the dumbest people you know. Why is it the dumbest people you know are the most skeptical of vaccines?
Powerful bunch.
Pick up a son disease.
Gambling prom? Cool. Son got a seizure? Cool. Get some Pure Spectrum CBD. Promo code SHAB.
Yeah. Kid nearly died. Cool. 5%, and now he's sponsored by that company that fucking Rampage Action has, right? That sells the fucking chains as well. But honestly, man, this is just like this is cute. Anyway, let's just continue. This is fabulous.
It's like, do not give him medication. It f***ed up everything you're doing. Try CBD oil. And I have some friends who know some people in CBD oil business, so I'm like, I'm going to try that before I try anything else. Tried it.
There must be a through line between people who are into conspiracy theories, people that are anti-vaccine, like, and generally just anti-expertise, anti-expertise, and intellectualism in general. There's definitely something about it. Like, why is it the dumbest people that you know are very skeptical about vaccines, especially pertaining to their children? Do your research. I did my research. It's like, what? You did your research? What research did you do? What medical papers did you read? What studies did you do? Really? What?
It hasn't had one since.
Great.
Use SHAB at the checkout for Pure Spectrum.
Dude.
And I got that chain when we figured out that the CBD oil fixed it. So
Wonderful.
This story starts.
I got the chain when I figured out CBD could fix it. Again, I don't. So what's the chain for? To celebrate your kid doesn't have epileptic fix anymore. Why don't you give the chain to your kid? Why are you wearing it?
It's with Brendan's newfound love of CBD oil around 6 years ago. He starts asking around, and eventually Pure Spectrum CBD, a company founded by a guy named Brady Bell enters the picture. Brady's your typical entrepreneur trying to build a legit CBD brand. He's making moves, sponsoring athletes, trying to get into the wellness space, and for some reason, someone possibly under the influence of one too many on-it supplements suggests Brendan Schaub as a brand ambassador. Now, most rational people would look at Bupper's track record: fumbled an MMA career, fumbled stand-up comedy, fumbled podcast after podcast, fumbled basic geography by moving his business to a storage unit in Texas, and think maybe he's not the ideal choice. But they roll the dice anyway, and in late 2018...
Maybe they rolled the dice, and maybe I'm incorrect. Maybe this guy that got in business with Brendan wasn't Rogan's friend. Maybe he was hoping to be Rogan's friend, so he did one of Rogan's friends a favor in the hopes that Rogan would see that and then want to be his friend. Or maybe there just exists this like weird ecosystem, this weird world that we're not privy to, of like business owners who are also like Chad bro types who want to be friends with Rogan and shit. So they kind of buy their friendship. I wonder if that's like a thing. It must be a thing, isn't it? Maybe that's probably how Aubrey Marcus got in touch with fucking Rogan in the first place, to do on it. These type of dudes who like have money, have their own fucking gyms or dojos or fucking sauna companies and shit, and they kind of buy their way into Rogan's inner circle by offering them free stuff or sponsoring them or something like that. So there's probably like a little world, you know, a little subculture that exists there where, and then probably Rogan takes advantage of that and gets his friends deals and all this shit.
Brady Bell brings Brendan Schaub into Pure Spectrum as a partner, giving him 10% ownership of the company straight out of his own personal stake. All Bubba has to do is promote the brand, make a few social media posts, show up to an event or two, mention it on his podcasts, you know, the bare minimum for someone constantly bragging about being a business shark.
And that's the thing as well. The funny thing about this is that a part of me is like, fuck it, scam in it. Shit, fuck it. If you can get away with like not doing anything and pocketing all the money, why not do it? But then the other part of me is like, surely you do right by people, innit? Especially stuff like this. Like, this is the most like low effort shit. It's not even like he's asking you to record content. He's just asking you to post stuff like static shit on your stories, on your Twitter, on your IG feed. You can maybe archive it later when your contract is up, but it's not even that intrusive, really. It doesn't require that much work. But then what makes it funnier is that these are the guys who will look at you dead in the face and say, yeah, we work hard. Like, I'm a hard worker. I'm always there busting my ass doing this. Like, they make it seem as if they're grafting, as if they're literally making the fucking cables they connect their cameras with to fucking record their show with their bare hands. When in actuality, Chin does everything. Brendan just sits in a comfy chair and just speaks into a microphone. But Chin does everything. Brendan probably doesn't even know how to record himself. Brendan probably doesn't even know how to upload a video onto YouTube. Let alone write titles, let alone make a thumbnail and shit. But they act like they do all this work, and then what you find out is that when they're given money, right, to promote stuff, probably more money than what they're actually worth, they still are work shy. They still can't even do the bare minimum. They can't even do the bare minimum in post. It's fucking brilliant.
But Brendan didn't just fumble the bag, he lit it on fire, shoved it in a Texas storage locker, and called it content.
I have some stuff going on. I have some joint issues and some other stuff.
CBD will help with that.
She told me. She told.
I got you.
You brought it, Charlotte's Web.
It's Pure Spectrum. It's the best CBD on the planet.
Is that what's the brand?
Pure
Spectrum is the name
CBD.
of the brand.
Yeah.
And she told me to ask you for that.
Yeah. Let me talk to one of the owners.
Did you just talk to them?
I'm one of the owners.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, you started
Horrendous joke, innit? Horrendous joke.
your own brand. Did you buy into it, or did you form this company with them?
They formed it, and then I came in as a fourth partner.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah.
By the way, he was about to lie there. He was about to lie. Then he thought, you know what? For once, let me not lie for absolutely no reason. So he kind of went back and said the truth. But he still tried to make it seem like he's actually involved in the day-to-day running of the company. No, it's still not the truth. Like, oh, you involved in the business? No, yeah, I've just got a share, but, you know, just advisory shit. Nothing crazy. I'm not involved in the day-to-day running for it. But I help them out with promo, marketing here and there. Right? That's the truth. But he doesn't want to say that. He wants to act as if like he's
Powerful
literally involved.
bunch.
Oh my god! Big up,
Brendan
big
is on the
picture.
pure spectrum.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's why he's a perfect fucking ambassador, isn't it? Big up, looking picture. Brendan is on the pure spectrum, exactly. Look at that face. That's fucking pure spectrum face right there. That is a pure fucking spectrum face right there. That's pure spectrum face.
Thanks.
So you brought it?
Huh?
You brought it. I'm gonna try it out.
I'm gonna bring it. I forgot it, but I got the best for you. I got the best for you.
Okay.
We don't live far from each other. I can go get it and come back.
Okay. Thanks, dude.
Yeah, no problem, man. It's the least I can do.
So here's where it all starts to unravel. And honestly, it wouldn't be a true Brendan Schaub story without some world-class self-sabotage. After getting his 10% stake in Pure Spectrum, Brendan allegedly does what Brendan does best. Absolutely fuck all. The lawsuit spells it out clear as day. Brendan missed every single required social media post. For those keeping score...
Look at that, honestly. Look at that. Look at that. Look at what he agreed to do. 5 Instagram stories per month. I've seen some people, most influencers, they get sent contracts where it's like 5 Instagram stories per day, per week. They only wanted 5 per month. They disappear after 24 hours anyway, you fucker. Publish 2 static posts monthly on all social media platforms. So that's across Twitter, Facebook, and fucking Instagram. 2 a month. Feature Pure Spectrum on his podcast. Easy. Put it on the fucking table. Allow his name and likeness for marketing. Again, easy. Just approve whatever they fucking send you, innit? Just say yeah. Host plaintiff on the Firing the Kid or other. Oh. This is a fucking shady world, isn't it? So some of these fucking Chad bro fucking business owner types, the ones that, you know, fucking weekend jiu-jitsu warriors, they set up these companies in the hopes of becoming Brendan or Rogan's friends and also appearing on the fucking podcast. And if you think about it, whatever they paid Brendan, if Brendan ended up doing what he meant to do and this guy became Brendan Schaub's friend, and by default he then introduced him to fucking Rogan, and Rogan started to like him, and he got him on fucking JRE. Whatever money he paid Brendan was more than worth it, because you can't pay to go on Rogan's show. You can probably in a roundabout way, payola wise, allegedly. Don't sue me, Rogan, please, I beg you. But now I get why they do it, because it's a clever way to kind of get in. And a lot of these guys, especially Rogan, he likes to say that, oh, I can tell bullshit. I've got a really high bullshit. I've got my bullshit radar, man. My bullshit radar, man. Like, fuck off. But really and truly, if you suck these guys' dicks and you really make them feel special, especially as a business owner, right? They're going to fucking like you back. They're going to want to be friends with you. So I kind of get what's going on here. Make 1 in-person appearance per year based on availability of Mr. Schaub. Honestly, the only thing I can think of that might be a little bit dicey and weird for them would have been having him on TFATK, because they don't really do that kind of interview or whatever well in general, right? But still, if the guy's paying you 300,000, bro, let him appear on your shitty fucking podcast. It really ain't that deep.
Home, that's 88 out of 88 missed posts. He skipped promotional events. He failed to honor his contractual obligations. Meanwhile, get this, he still managed to collect over 370 grand in commissions from Pure Spectrum. That's right, Brendan allegedly pocketed hundreds of thousands of dollars while doing less promo than Chin does research
Powerful
for the
bunch.
fighter.
Big up,
Blue
Mr.
Scorpion Milk.
Exactly, yeah. Because, like, yo, could you imagine how much they're paying him? Could you imagine how much Blue Scorpion Milk are paying him then? These companies might have too much money to waste. So I read this first. I was like, oh my God, he got paid. He made that much on the affiliate link. But allegedly they're saying that the 10% he got, so he got 10% of the company as part of the deal. And that meant that he was also he would also be in line to receive 10% of the overall affiliate, sales that they made. So it wasn't just his link. It was just overall. He got 10% of it. Fucking hell, bro. Usually, if you're not a scammer or a scummer, if somebody pays you a decent amount of money, you got every way to do a good job, innit? I've said it before plenty of times on the stream, but I think that's the main way to kind of like respect and honor your friends, especially if they've got a skill or a trade or whatever. Pay your friends. Pay your friends and you'll get a different level of service because number one, they're your friend, and number two, you fucking put some money in their pocket. Don't try and pay them in drinks and dinner and all that sort of nonsense GAY shit. Pay them in cold hard cash. But most people, most sensible grown up people, when someone pays you, you want to do a good job. You want to turn up for them. Brendan just has no sense of loyalty in that way at whatsoever. The guy paid him way more than what he was deserving to get paid. He didn't make any of those affiliate sales. He's asking the bare minimum of him as an influencer ambassador type shit. And he feels no way. He feels absolutely no way about it.
And the kid. And honestly, that's impressive in its own way. But like every good bupper scandal, things get dumber. Because as Gringo Puppy started tanking harder than his Spotify download numbers, Brendan allegedly decided to get creative. And by creative, I mean desperate. This lawsuit contains possibly the funniest sentence I've ever read in a legal filing. On multiple occasions in 2019 and 2020, Mr. Schaub solicited plaintiff to send mass emails using Pure Spectrum's customer database to promote defendants' unrelated comedy specials to help boost poor ratings on Showtime and IMDb.
On multiple occasions in 2019 and 2020. Multiple occasions. Like, let's just think about that for a moment. Brendan doesn't know this man. They're not like high school buddies. They're not fucking former CU teammates. He didn't play in the XFL with this person. He wasn't, in the trenches in the UFC with this person. He does not know this guy. This guy is just like a person that owns a brand that's sponsoring him and shit for his podcast. Yet somehow he felt comfortable enough to ask him to basically jeopardize his business to help him because his feelings were hurt because people left bad reviews on his generally widely accepted horrendous first comedy special. You'd be surprised. Just think about how insane that is, that you'd ask a business partner to help you out because your feelings were hurt, but you don't know this like, what the fuck is going on?
Let that sink in for a second. People are signing up to Pure Spectrum's mailing list because they want CBD products. They're dealing with anxiety, pain, sleeplessness, and Brendan allegedly tries to hijack the database to spam them with ads for Gringo Puppy. Imagine buying CBD to help your anxiety, and next thing you know, Brendan's in your inbox saying, "What else you got, Chin?" While
Chilica. Chilia. Mijo, we fit. Imagine you're stressed out. Mexican cookie with salsa. Like, what? Like, you actually need CBD oil. Like, it helps you. I don't know. It soothes your muscles before you go to bed. You use it as a sort of muscle relaxer, bed nighttime aid thing. It helps to level you out during the day. Helps you put up with your annoying
Powerful bunch.
Imagine paying Boppa 100k grand then finding Shanks.
Yes. Do we look at this guy that's suing him and think to ourselves, like, do we look at the guy that's getting the guy that's doing the suing, the person that got fucking scammed? Do we look at him the same way that we look at people that bought the fucking Hoktua coin? Like, I'm sad it happened to you, but you're a fucking idiot, innit, for getting into business with Brendan. No? Like, as much as I feel bad for the dude, like, thinking Brendan was gonna be like a business partner, stand-up dude type of thing, like, don't get me wrong, he got burned early. He wouldn't have known, because I don't think when You'd Be Surprised came out was Chang's popping. Like, hot. I don't think as hot as it was after anyway. So maybe not. Maybe he wouldn't have known back then, but I don't know, man. Like, why he even agreed to it is fucking insane.
Begging you to rate his comedy special higher than a Rotten Tomatoes disaster movie. But wait, it gets so much better, because apparently even Showtime and IMDb were so pissed off by Bupper's guerrilla marketing tactics that they allegedly threatened legal action. This is directly from the lawsuit. Defendants' misuse of company assets for personal gain resulted in negative consequences, including threats from Showtime and IMDb for improper promotional activities. After receiving threats from Showtime, Mr. Schaub acted like he didn't know about the promotional campaign, leaving plaintiff with Brendan's dirt on his hands.
This sounds like textbook Brendan, isn't it? Textbook Brendan. He suggests the fucking scam. He suggests the grift. He suggests the hustle. The guy agrees because he's a nice guy. Let's just give him the benefit of the doubt. He's a fucking nice guy. A bit naive, right? Maybe a little bit too eager to please so he can get into Rogan's good graces and shit. By default being friends with Brendan, who knows? But he agrees to help him out on top of the whatever money he's paying him, not to count that. And then when Brendan gets called out on it being a fucking scam and a bad idea and gross misconduct and grounds for termination, he then acts like he doesn't even know the fucking guy. Wow, man. Now I'm starting to wonder, is this the reason? Is this the main reason why he didn't get picked up from Showtime, or he didn't get his contract renewed at Showtime? Because if you think about it, he got one contract at Showtime. He didn't get it renewed ever. I don't think. If my law is correct, when Brendan signed to Showtime for You Be Surprised and the other MMA stuff he got signed up for Below the Belt and shit, if I'm not mistaken, he signed an initial contract but never signed a re-up. So I wonder if this fucking faux pas, if this own goal was one of the reasons why Showtime never offered him an extension anyway. And then he tried to act like he left, you know, but he didn't get offered anything. So technically, I guess he didn't lie. He did leave, but he didn't get offered another thing. So he kind of got fired. I wonder if that played a role in it. Oh, and by the way, I'm all but certain Brendan mentioned this to Showtime. I'm all but I don't even think Showtime were checking IMDb things and whatever. I'm all but certain Brendan was the one that mentioned it to Showtime, showing off like, oh yeah, I've got a way to counteract the trolls. I'm working with one of my sponsors and they're sending out email blasts to everybody in their contact list to leave me positive reviews in exchange for discount codes. And Showtime person was like, sorry, what? You're doing what? Run that by me again? I'm pretty sure he's the one that told them, thinking he was fucking Billy Big Balls. And then he got fucking told off like, you're an absolute idiot. Don't ever do that again.
That is peak Brendan Schaub. Initiate the scam, fumble the execution, blame everyone else, retreat to Joe Rogan's bunker. Honestly, imagine being so bad at comedy that even your own promo strategy backfires and the platforms you're desperately trying...
Oh yeah, big up Grandbaby Golf. Y'all see Sanaz at that wedding with them fangs out. Let me see that. I actually got a page up on here, actually. I was going to check it. Let's actually quick little interlude. Let's see what Sanaz is saying. Sanaz got the fucking Mama Milkers out, yeah? Where I can't see it on the main feed. Let's see her stories. Has she got it out? She got the milkers out. Let's see. Where are these milkers? Is Grandbaby Golf trolling? Where are these milkers? Let's see the milkers. Okay, some band played. Okay, there we go. We got something going on there. My mini me made the most beautiful bride. We got some stuff there. Not the most. I want some better angles though. Let's see. Can't really see nothing there. Let's see the next story. Okay. Oh, looks like Sanaz is angling for the next podcast to go in intern for or something, right? Be a producer for, I'm assuming. Anything else? No? Oh, is that it? Come on, man. I wanted to see more. Maybe who's this young lady? Who's the person that got married? Maybe they might have some more pictures. Let's see. Who's this? SNK Weddings was a masterpiece of elegance. SNK's wedding. Is this Sanaz's fucking sister or something? Oh, is this Sanaz's sister? Was that why? Is it Sanaz's sister? Who the fuck are these people? Who the fuck are these? Sanaz wedding. Oh, there's another Sanaz. So I'm guessing Sanaz is like is a common name, I'm assuming, right? There's another Sanaz. Okay, fair play. Anyway, Grandbaby Golf, you fucking you hyped it. You hyped it, bro. You hyped it. You gassed the thing. I didn't see what I wanted to see there.
Trying to impress, threatened legal action just to get you to stop. It's almost poetic if poetry had CTE and a Thick Boy logo slapped on it. But we're just getting started. This was only the beginning of Brendan's downfall with Pure Spectrum. The next chapter, the non-compete violation, the $100,000 payoff, and what might be the sloppiest business move since he tried to trademark Tiger Thick Whiskey.
With my CBD company, they were doing this market, and I said, hey.
With my CBD company, like, the hyperbole, the grandiosity, the fucking salt-based sprinkling. Like, come on. My CBD company. Really, nigga? You're a brand ambassador who's been given equity. Like, let's relax. My CBD company.
My friends are the funniest comedians in the world. Give me whatever marketing budget you have for the next 2 months. Let me do my thing with my guys. They go, okay. So I hired Chris D'Elia, Santino.
With my guys. I wonder if he paid any of them, by the way. Andrew
Santino, Fahim, Derek Poston.
I love Derek.
Yep. Hassan Ahmad and Brian Callen.
Great.
The only person in that list who's currently still his friend, Callen and Chris D'Elia.
And I had them come in. I gave them an outline. Oh, and Michael Rappaport. And I gave them an outline of what I want to do and go, we're just going to freestyle this. You can get paid. And we're just going to do this. We did 3 commercials.
So after Brendan's failed attempts to boost his comedy career by misusing a CBD company's customer list like his own personal email chain, things finally came to a head. By late 2020, even Brendan, the undisputed king of denial...
Hold on. I just thought about this. Why didn't Brendan just use his own contact list for his own podcast to, like, counteract some of the negative reviews he was getting on IMDb and shit? Surely, if he thinks everyone that's leaving him negative comments are trolls and haters and shit, and he wants the fan love to counteract that, to counterbalance some of that, why not just send a mass email blast out to people who signed up for TFATK tickets and shit and get them to do it? Why did he use that other company's database? Is it because there's nobody to email? For the TFATK side of things, there are no email addresses, or not enough anyway. So this whole fucking podcast has been built on a fucking house of cards. It doesn't even have any. It doesn't even have any fans you can reach out to try and help him leave positive reviews. So he has to use another company's database to leave him positive reviews, which is now getting him sued. Fucking brilliant.
Couldn't ignore the writing on the wall. The lawsuit claims that after months of skipped promos, failed appearances, and illegal marketing tactics, Brendan finally agrees to part ways with Pure Spectrum, but not before allegedly pocketing nearly $400,000 for doing, quite literally, less than nothing. The terms of the deal were pretty straightforward. Brandon signs a dissolution agreement giving up his entire 10% stake in Pure Spectrum. He agrees to a 12-month non-compete.
Why does it, like, Brendan and Brian have both done this, isn't it? They've had to fucking give up their ownership in companies. Brian with the fucking sandals thing, right? That company. Am I correct in thinking that company, the sandals company that Brian was sponsored by? Am I incorrect in thinking that I saw a post on the TFATK Reddit that said that company's gone under or something, or they're in financial trouble? Toeholds, that's it. Am I dumb? Did I see a post that said something like, "Oh, Toes are struggling for money. They're trying to fundraise or something, or they're going back"? Like, is that true or not? Or am I bugging out? I saw something like that about it.
Meaning he can't promote or partner with any rival CBD company during that time. Everyone walks away with less brain cells than when they started.
But Coiler, they went under 2 weeks after being on the podcast. To be fair, the owner of fucking Toeholds came across pretty well on the pod. I felt like he might have been one of the more entertaining guests they had on in a while. He wasn't too shabby.
right? But this is Bupper we're talking about. If there's one thing Brendan loves more than abusing PEDs, it's violating contracts he never fully understood in the first place. Because not even 2 months after signing the non-compete, Brendan allegedly turns around and starts publicly promoting Direct Hemp.
That's the one. Big up Ryan Harty. That's the one. My bad. I got it wrong. It was, yeah, Gordon Ryan was the one that made like a massive post airing them out, innit? Yeah. Say they owe him money. Okay, cool. There we go. And Gordon Ryan was one of their biggest, like, you know, proponents and shit. He was pushing Toeholz hard, maybe harder than even Cannon. So yeah, you're right. It was Gordon Ryan,
a competitor of Pure Spectrum, founded by co-defendant Daniel Herder, one of the masterminds behind what allegedly happens next. Brady Bell, the founder who originally brought Brendan into Pure Spectrum, wasn't having it. He sent cease and desist letters, or as Brendan calls them, cease and desist letters, reminding Brendan of the non-compete he literally just signed, and he probably even tried to speak slowly so Brendan could keep up, you know. But true to form, Bupper allegedly ignores everything, keeps promoting.
like, isn't business a small world, the business owner world? Why would another CBD company want to re-sign Brendan as an ambassador, seeing how poor of a job that he done with Pure Spectrum? Like, piss poor job. Why would you want to have him as your ambassador, you know? Like, surely the world would travel around, oh yeah, this guy's no good, he doesn't deliver on fucking assets and stuff, or deliverables, or whatever it may be, or material, right? He's not game for certain things, he's always fucking asking questions and making edits, all this, just a headache. Surely Word would get around in that regard. Like, I'm shocked that another company would want him as an ambassador straight away. Like, fucking hell.
Direct Hemp, and focuses on the only thing he's consistent with, doubling down on the dumbest possible move. It doesn't stop there though, because behind the scenes, things are about to get a lot darker.
And then I get on my horse, and I'm thinking slow motion as I'm on the horse, right? Like I'm going, and there's like smoke, and the town's blowing up behind me like this. And then my horse
is the town blowing up though? Aren't the innocent people there?
No,
Brian's always look old, isn't it? This is when he was filming school, isn't it? This is when Brian was filming school and he was trying to appear young, so he'd like always shave his beard and wear makeup and shit. But you can still see his leathery face just like peeling off of his bones and of his face, like honestly, like his leathery face just peeling off, melting off there.
They ran during the shootout because I heard one girl in the saloon go, "Oh, that's a thick ass cowboy," and I'm like, "You right, sweetie."
I know, but the town's
The town, and then in slow motion, it's like, and then and I'm looking like super smoky, and then even my horse in slow motion goes.
August 2021. According to the lawsuit, Pure Spectrum insiders and investors are plotting a hostile takeover of the company. The plan: push Brady Bell out of his business, take control, and in classic podcast industry fashion, glaze over the details later. But they have one problem. They need Brendan's help to pull it off. Even though he signed away his ownership, they allegedly approach Bupper with a deal. Hey Brendan, we know you technically gave up your stake, but how about you lie on some documents, pretend you still own 9.3% of Pure Spectrum, and help us vote Brady out? We'll throw in 100,000.
Honestly, some of these business, like using Brendan as your crowbar for a hostile takeover is fucking insane. Like, Brendan's your fucking point person for the hostile takeover of fucking Pure Spectrum. Brendan Schaub. This company, man, probably deserve to get scammed. I'm not gonna lie. What the fuck?
Powerful bunch.
If Bappa goes broke from this Chen will be another homeless man in Austin high off Crata eating fish out of sewage water. No more back pennies.
Could you imagine if Brendan does get sued so hard that he kind of changes everything, and then Chin's left out there in Austin with a lease? Because he's got a new crib, by the way. We'll talk about that next. Chin's will do a little break in between. Chin's got a fucking crib finally. Imagine if that happens. Imagine if Chin is just stuck out there in Austin, Texas, having to kind of see out the time of his lease. Like, could you imagine the fucking rotten luck that guy has? Finally gets a place to settle down, and then bang, Brendan just gets, gets into fucking, mountains of debt that just fuck up his whole operation. Now Chin's just out in Austin doing what? Doing crying R&B singing videos in his front room. Oh yeah. Big up Asadas.
$1,000 for your trouble. Now, if there's one thing Brendan loves more than scorpion milk, it's easy money with zero accountability. The lawsuit claims he took the deal faster than Theo Von distanced himself from The Fighter and the Kid, signed the false declaration, claimed he still owned part of the company, and helped oust Brady Bell from Pure Spectrum entirely. All for a cool $100K, which in Brandon's world would cover Chin's salary for the next 4 years.
So he got 370,000 for the fucking for the affiliate and whether was part of his deal, and then on top of that, he was able to pocket another 100 grand because he sold a stake in the company that he did not own in the first place, so that they could perform a hostile takeover of the company to get that Bell person out. Like, Brendan was making so much money early on. And it kind of explains all the fucking reckless spending. This is just one company paying him this much, fighting over his fucking likeness, name and likeness. Can you imagine all the other fucking nonsense companies out there that thought their next big break was gonna come if they got, advertised on or spoken about by fucking Brendan and Brian? He was making so much money back then, but he still managed to find a way to fuck it up. Brilliant Brendan on display.
But don't worry, the stupidity doesn't end there. You'd think after pocketing a questionable 100 grand for allegedly faking ownership documents, Brendan Schaub would ride off into the sunset, maybe retreat to another failing YouTube channel, or finally invest in a real studio that doesn't double up as a car park. But no.
Surely something like that should be that's a kind of a serious crime, though. Like falsifying that you own a share of the company and then selling that share for money, profiting off of it. That sounds like that's something that you should be in like really big trouble for. But fucking hell.
When Bupper fumbles, he fumbles hard. The lawsuit claims that after helping boot Brady Bell from his own company, Brandon kept the scam going with some classic paper trail manipulation. We're talking allegedly filing false tax returns, using a fraudulent
Christ.
Schedule K1 form to pretend he still had partnership income from Pure Spectrum, and participating in what the lawsuit calls a civil conspiracy designed to defraud the IRS and Brady Bell simultaneously.
Pure scumbag, innit? Just a pure, unadulterated scumbag scammer. And that guy was the one that helped him out. Brendan was in a sticky situation. The trolls are coming after me. They're review bombing my special on Showtime. I'm really feeling bad about it. It's making me feel down. It's hurting my feelings. The guy says, yeah, cool, don't worry, I can help you out, bro. It's game to help out fucking Brendan. This is how he thanks him. The worst type of guy, this guy. The worst type of guy.
I mean, the man's so addicted to fake numbers, he allegedly tried to bot his own tax filings. And look, this isn't just, oops, I forgot to declare a podcast ad. We're talking potential felony level allegations. Wire fraud, tax fraud, civil theft, fraudulent misrepresentation, conspiracy to commit tax-related crimes. The lawsuit doesn't pull punches. It paints Brandon as a textbook scammer, hiding behind his MMA background, influencer persona, and ever so fragile ego to cover up for his incompetence.
To be fair, you have to blame some of these business owners for thinking MMA podcaster guy was the right person to link up with business-wise. Aside from just maybe throwing them some money and saying, hey, advertise and talk about my CBD product, wanting him to get involved in the business side of things, giving him fucking ownership, paying him, like, a lot of these companies have their own self to blame. Like, you know what I mean? Thinking Brendan would be like a savvy businessman or whatever, or a fucking consultant and say anything worth any weight. Like, please, some people have to kind of look themselves in the mirror like, come on. How did you really think this is going to...
The plaintiff's legal team even calls out Brendan's pattern of behavior. defendant has consistently leveraged his perceived public persona as a former athlete and comedian to mislead business partners, evade contractual obligations, and engage in fraudulent conduct for personal gain. Translation, the thick boy business model isn't built on hard work. It's built on smoke, mirrors, storage units, and allegedly illegal shortcuts.
Yeah, young old vibes. To be honest, none of this screams smart. He's just a liar. Yeah, for sure. For sure. And clearly just somebody, like, if given the opportunity to scam, will take it, you know? Or if given the opportunity to cut a corner, he'll fucking cut a corner. So, like, it's a surprise. It just makes me laugh when people like this are, like, so adamant. To say, oh yeah, I work hard, I bust myself, I'll do this, that. Brother. You've taken every shortcut in the book. Again, don't blame you, but, like, let's relax. Let's relax on, like, always taking the long road. Let's relax on, oh, I'll do this shit for free. No, you wouldn't. This guy was getting paid nearly $500,000 from just one shitty fucking CBD company. Can you imagine what else is getting on from other companies on the side? God damn, especially during the heyday of TFATK. God damn.
Cuts. But to truly understand how we got here, let's zoom out for a second.
You know, I'm in the business of likability. So when I go on the road,
one of the best lines ever, isn't it? I'm in the business of likability. No one likes you, though? How does that work? I'm in the business of likability. Someone likes me. Not enough to keep your fucking stand-up comedy career going, that's for sure.
I think, too, for younger comics.
Powerful bunch.
Yo, big up, Sarzies.
Thick Boy Jail Club. Buy the merch to win a honey bun.
I'd love that. Thick Boy Joe Club is fucking mad thing to say. But big up Asad Aziz.
I think that the internet, through all the comments or whatever it is real. It's not real, man. I make a business off likability. I don't know, 10 endorsement deals. That's how I pay my bills. I have 10 endorsement deals. And this isn't a flex. It's just showing you that.
It is kind of a flex. I get it because, you know, why not? If you're that redacted and you're getting paid, you know, nearly $500,000 to promote shitty stuff that you probably don't even use, cool. But yeah, I don't know. Just a funny dude. Just a funny fucking dude.
Right. You know, I'm more loved than I am liked. You know, I go to a coffee shop. I was just with my brother. I can't go anywhere without meeting nice people, man. You know, who love what I do. And then also,
I can't go anywhere. Let's relax. Let's fucking relax with I can't go anywhere. Let's fucking relax, please.
I sell tickets on the road. That's how else I pay my mortgage. You know, so that stuff is real. That's attainable. I see.
By the way, there's no more stand-up now. So how else is he paying his mortgage? Is Daddy Schaub involved?
And meet those people. So I think that's what helps me navigate through all the darkness. You know, I'm a shark when it comes to business. They underpaid my man.
This lawsuit isn't happening in a vacuum. It's part of a long, slow-motion train wreck we've all been watching for years. Failed MMA career, blamed it on concussions. Failed comedy career, blamed it on being too big, strong, and good-looking. Botched podcasts, blame it on Brian Callen, chin, and production staff. Banned from Rogan's mothership, blamed it on protecting comedians from his fists. Now allegedly scamming CBD customers, falsifying tax documents, and panicking when the feds get involved. This lawsuit basically takes all the worst parts of Brendan's public persona, the fragile ego, the self-sabotage, the desperate clinging to relevance, and shows that, allegedly, it wasn't just happening on YouTube. It was happening in boardrooms, tax filings, and corporate documents. And to no one's surprise, it all circles back to that same trademarked bupper energy. Deny, deflect, distract, and somehow still fumble the bag. But if you thought this was just a civil court drama, think again, because the fallout from this lawsuit could make Gringo Papi look like a career highlight. Brendan Schaub, former UFC heavyweight, failed stand-up comedian, storage unit landlord, podcast bot enthusiast, now facing the most on-brand legal meltdown of his career. If even half of these allegations are proven true, we're not just looking at some slap-on-the-wrist YouTube drama. We're talking massive financial penalties, triple damages under Florida's civil theft laws, IRS investigations for filing false tax returns, potential criminal referrals to the Department of Justice, and worst of all, more storage unit podcast episodes while he scrambles to salvage the empire. But let's be honest, we all
Prayers got to chin. Prayers go out to Chin. Prayers go out to Chin, mate. IRS fucking audit. Whoo! They confiscate the equipment. Woo! Prayers to Chin.
Know how this plays out. Brendan's going to hit the fighter in the kids set next week, acting like nothing's happened. He'll glaze Rogan harder than ever, even though Rogan hasn't acknowledged his existence since the move to Austin. He'll blame the hate.
Some people are saying that's an indication that Rogan might have known about the lawsuit or the lawsuit. Brian Cannon's absence from the podcast, although he was on holiday, but Brian Cannon's absence from the podcast. Rogan not giving him a call or hanging out at all since he's been there, like nearly a month it seems. Some people are suggesting that maybe Rogan knew as well. Hence why he's keeping his distance away from that guy in general.
AKA anyone who's been reading the court filings and knows how to pronounce the word conspiracy. And in true Bappa fashion, he'll probably fuck up the legal defense worse than he fucked up his copyright lawsuit. You know, the one he thought was a defamation lawsuit for 2 years until I called him out on this channel and his lawyers had to scramble to convince the court that he was lying on the podcast to save the case, which he still lost. But let me stop for a second, because even with everything we've seen from Brendan over the years, there's one particular part of this lawsuit that feels almost too dumb to be real. According to the filings, Brendan allegedly sold a 9.3% ownership stake in Pure Spectrum CBD, pocketing $100,000 for it, despite the fact that, and I can't stress this enough, he didn't even legally own the stake at that point. He'd already signed it away months earlier in a dissolution agreement.
Powerful
now, look,
bunch.
I've covered Bappa long.
Yeah, big up Assange.
Dad, the IRS won't let me keep a deck.
Exactly. What surprised me, Brendan actually has shares in KBTech too. Another one of his companies, allegedly.
Enough to know he's no Terrence Howard. The man once thought Texas was an actual place. He thought Gringo Papi was going to break Netflix. He thought Rogan would actually let him set foot in the mothership green room, but surely even Brendan Schaub isn't dumb enough to sign legal documents selling part of a company he doesn't own. Surely the people around him, and let's remember, Brendan's constantly reminding us how professional his legal team is. Were they just sitting there watching him allegedly sign fake declarations, cash checks for non-existent equity and thinking, yeah, B, this is how Bezos...
Bill Jathoni Jr., the guy that filed the suit, is boys with Aubrey Marcus, who's boys with Joe. Yeah, that's what makes the whole Joe thing weird, like. Because it's not like... Dana's always hated Brendan. I thought Brendan's a douchebag. But Joe's always kind of, remained cool with him and not really thought much about it. And then, of course, then this shit happens. You're like, how is Rogan still inviting Brendan on to do solo episodes or whatever? To do fucking fight? It's like, how? Given everything that's been said about the guy, how? But I guess some people just, don't get moved by that sort of thing, I guess. Let's continue.
built Amazon. I mean, how do you even end up in that situation? Where were his lawyers, his manager? Was there literally no adult supervision? Chin's back there fumbling focus, Callan's busy planning his escape, and Brendan's out front allegedly committing corporate fraud like it's another poorly planned drug giveaway. We've seen Bappa talk about being a business shark. We've seen him glaze himself on his car shows. We've seen him claim he's too strong, big, and good looking to fail, but allegedly selling phantom ownership in a CBD company while already locked in a non-compete, it almost defies belief. Almost. Because when you zoom out and look at the pattern, the comedy career that fell apart, the Texas move that backfired, the numerous scandals, the alleged tax issues, maybe this isn't as surprising as it sounds. Maybe Brendan's been winging it so hard for so long.
Yeah, and you get the point. Big up Podcast Cringe. AG, do you think Joe Rogan will see this Podcast Cringe video and go even more sour and pepper? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Does he see stuff? Does he not know stuff? That's the thing that's always been like confusing. Because even if I'm Brendan, I'll be a little bit perplexed, confused, befuddled. Like Rogan is clearly keeping this guy at arm's distance, but then he also is in the inner circle. He gets solo episodes that he does with Rogan, MMA show. He's always invited to do that fucking fight companion thing they do with Brian, Eddie sometimes, and Brendan. There's always an invite out for that sort of shit. So I wonder how it must feel deep down, Like clearly the guy fucks with you, but doesn't fuck with you, type of thing. Like how does that work with your mental?
Powerful bunch.
Be a Black American.
Embarrassed smiley face emoji. Embarrassed smiley face emoji. Embarrassed smiley face emoji. I work in fraud prevention and AML. This is hilariously obvious.
Oh really?
I've seen more creativity in being
amazing,
fraud.
amazing,
B.
amazing, 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 amazing. Yeah, always a fraud. Like again, the only thing that's surprising me from this thing is that Brendan was scamming from the start. Like I said previously, this is usually something that happens towards the end of your career. Like now, if this story came about now, I wouldn't be that surprised, right? Because clearly, you know, things are different financially, changing. So it wouldn't surprise me if things were different when it comes to that sort of stuff. But Brendan's been scamming people that have been willingly going out of their way to jump, you know, to give him money to promote their thing. Instead of Brendan honoring that deal, he's going out of his way to scam them and then throw them under the bus. Like truly one of the most, you know, irredeemable pieces of shit you've ever seen. Like gets given everything and still acts like an entitled fucking bully, you know? Like just yeah. Anyway, let's go. Oh yeah, let's do some clips actually. So big up Podcast Cringe, laid it out brilliantly there. Like I said, I'm eager to see how this plays out, eager to see what Brendan's defense is gonna be, how he's going to counteract or, you know, basically clap back about some of these allegations that have been put in this lawsuit. How's he going to explain it away? How's he going to make it make sense? What's the resolution going to be? I'm going to be gripped. I'm so fucking gripped to the side of my seat to see